Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's live stream. So here we are, first live stream of 2025. For me, it's Sunday, the 5th of January. I know for most of you, it's still Saturday, the 4th. How's everyone doing today? How are we all going? See loads of comments coming in. We'll jump into them in a second. Let's start, though, as I usually do, with my weather update. So we'll head on over to the screen. So at the moment, it's 22 centigrade. That's 72 Fahrenheit. So that's not too bad. The forecast for today, though, is for 31 centigrade. So that's 88 near enough. Tomorrow, though, is going to be a nice one. Tomorrow's 36, which is 97 Fahrenheit. So we've got some nice temperatures coming in. About time, because I'm fed up of feeling cold. We had a couple of nice days last week where it was like 37, 38. Really nice. I really enjoy them. Yes, you need to have a fan on, but you can sit there and feel warm, not all that coldness. So let's jump into the comments. So we've got Marcy Me. Hello from Texas. Welcome to you. We've got Jim. Hi from Harper's Ferry. Welcome to you. And then Tom. Greetings from Northridge, California. Tony, hello from snowy Wiltshire in the UK. Yeah, I do not miss snow. I really don't. I believe the UK meant to be having another Arctic blast. They're meant to be having a load of snow this week. I think somewhere I read there's meant to be about 12 centimetres. That's what? 12 centimetres, about 4 or 5 inches, something like that. Ted, hello from Seattle. Welcome to you. Ricardo, good morning from freezing London. Currently, it's snowing here. A lot of snow all around. We've got Alia Rose. Hi from snowbound Pennsylvania. I had to dig around my porch to locate a white AliExpress package buried in the snow. Oh, that would have been fun, wouldn't it? Oh, I hope you had some nice thick gloves. Miss Marilyn Darling. Hi, everyone. Hi, Garry. Welcome to you. We've got Blonde Scales 1. Hello from soon-to-be-cold Arkansas. Welcome to you. We've got Marie. Hi from snowy Michigan. Andreas from warm Brisbane. G'day all. We've got Tom. Hello all. And from Maryland, we've got some highs. Blonde Scales 1, we've got a high. Miss Marilyn Darling, Jan the 4th be with you. Oh, I like that. Nice Star Wars reference there. Robbie Allen, Happy New Year, everybody. Tom, hello. We've got Jim saying hello. Marilyn, oh, that's warm. It will be. Oh, I do like it when it's warm. Tell you, moving to Australia from the UK was brilliant because it's warm. I mean, we first moved to Melbourne where it is a bit cooler, and we had the occasional little bit of frost on the car window. But once we moved over here to Western Australia, it's beautiful and warm all the time. Well, relatively, I still feel cold, but our winter is about the same temperature as the British summer. So yeah, shouldn't complain really. We've got another hello there. Marie, hi all my fountain pen friends. We got Miss Marilyn Darling. Hi to Robin and Steve from Utah. Marilyn is currently 61 Fahrenheit, which is 16.5 Celsius. Blonde Scales 1, rain moving for tonight and tomorrow, then the temperature will nosedive. Oh, I feel sorry for you. I'll tell you. I love living where it's warm. Shane, hello, Garry. Hello, folks. Welcome to you, Shane. Ron, greetings from New York University Hospital, getting my wireless pacemaker. Still have my Asvine, Jinhao, Parker, and Pelican on my cart. Welcome to you, Ron. Yeah, I know what I've got an ICD like a pacemaker, and mine has to use a silly box. When I was last in, about 9 months ago, when I was having some surgery on my heart, the person in the bed next to me was getting one of the wireless ones. I said to the technician, "Can't I have one?" But I've got to wait apparently until the battery on this one's run out. Alia Rose, don't you have a blizzard coming your way? Blonde Scales 1, not in Arkansas. Alia Rose, okay. Blonde Scales 1, my brother might get snow in Ohio. Do you know, for a simple word, that was quite hard for me to pronounce. Right, that's all the comments. So what I thought we'd talk about today, and mainly it's because I'd love to get your thoughts on this, is I watched during the week the SBR Brown video where he was talking about gold and steel nibs. And I was wondering what are people's thoughts on that. So I deliberately haven't scripted this. So what I'm going to talk about is going to be off the top of my head. I try to do that as much as possible, keeps it spontaneous. I mean, some videos or some lives, I do need to have a little bit of a script to follow. So my thoughts on it. The biggest one I want to say is the material a nib is made of is not the material that's touching the paper. Most nibs, they've got tipping material, either iridium, platinum, I think some are rhodium, is it? There's a number of different, different materials. So they're really hard metals. The idea is that they should last and last and last. Whereas, say with gold, if you were writing with gold on the paper, because gold's so soft, it would, there is a posh word for it, I just can't remember. But anyway, it would wear down fairly quickly. Today's mug, it was one of my Inky Countdown ones. It's the Mandalorian. So, I mean, to me, this is the key thing. Regardless of what the nib is made of, you're using virtually the same material regardless. Where you can get something, it depends on the pen. So, like, I'm going to point out here, this is my Homo sapiens. There's an 18 karat gold nib on here. And it's being plated, I'm guessing, in rhodium. It's such a soft, bouncy nib. But you can get steel nibs, which are very similar in feel. You know, it all depends how they're made. I mean, I would assume to get a bouncy steel nib, you'd make it a little bit thinner. So, yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I mean, I've got steel nibs which write better than some of my gold nib pens. I mean, my Leonardo Momento Zero Grande, for example, steel nibbed. It writes really well. I've got gold nibs in about the same price range, nowhere near as nice. So I say I'm really interested in getting other people's thoughts on this. I'm just going to jump over to the comments. So Jim, 25 Fahrenheit, which is minus 3.8 Celsius. And snow is on the way. From Tony, a braid, brilliant, thank you. I knew there was a posh word for it. And yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's that tipping material which determines how it writes. The other thing I think is also things like the coatings on it. I said with that Homo sapiens, looks like it's got a coating on it. I know my Pilot Custom Heritage 92, that's got, I believe it's a rhodium coating on it. It's a gold nib. One of the things I've noticed with is mainly steel nibs, which have got the black coating. Is it some of there's some kind of deposition process which they use to put it on there, and I find that is a lot smoother feeling than a nib which is not coated. So the coating material can add in. I say when I watched this video, it was just really kicking some thoughts in my head. Andreas, it was very frustrating video, that one. A persuasive logical structure with lots of emissions. I'm sure it'll get a lot of views though. Oh, sure. And this is why I thought it'd be an interesting one to follow up on here. Alia Rose, I only have one gold nib, the 14 karat on the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, so do not have enough of a sample size to form an informed opinion on the matter. Yep, absolutely brilliant. Marilyn, Pilot Vanishing Point, 18 karat gold nib. I'm going to lean back in my chair. I was sitting forward, but it hurts me back. Ted, I don't have any gold nibs. Might be a good goal for 2025. Absolutely. Marilyn, I like me a slippery nib. Yeah, I know what you mean. I say I really do like my. Uh, sorry, I really do like the them black coated ones because they do feel a lot more slippy. Although saying that some other ones do, but I know I'm not making sense, am I? But it's not. I'll say it's the slipperiness again is actually down to that tipping material rather than the material that the nib is made from. Jim, one gold nib with my E95S. That's a really nice nib. I've been using that this week. You'll see it soon. One of the things I'm finding with this, every time I use this pen on here, I get a massive patch of ink. And what I've discovered is because I hold my pens really low, my finger is actually going onto the nib. And so it's putting up some of that ink, which is one thing which is nice to learn. So I'm trying to use that a little bit differently. Bronze Scales 1, my only gold nibs are my recently acquired 3776 and my vintage Schaefer balance. So I can't give much of an opinion. Yeah, I'm completely with you there. Robin Allen, even among gold nibs, the feel can be so different, like comparing platinum to Strebo. Yeah, I'd say with my Visconti, that Homo sapiens, very, very soft, very, very bouncy. With the Platinum 3776, it's quite stiff feeling. And also, it's different gold. You've got 14 karat gold, but you've also got a lot of, like the Visconti, where it's 18 karat gold. And I believe you can get some sailors with 21 karat gold. And that's also going to affect the way it feels because the higher the percentage of gold in the alloy that they use is the softer that will feel, I believe. Ricardo, my concern with steel nibs is longevity of it. I've got two very cheap ones that are 25 to 30 years old, and the nibs have some corrosion, but they still write well. Yeah, and again, that's actually quite a good point. One of the things that I don't say often enough now, but I used to say a lot, is when you're picking a pen, the whole idea, the pen is there to let you get ideas out of your head and onto paper in a way that you enjoy. You know, for me, my $2 Jinhao 992s, I enjoy using. They let me get ideas out of my head and onto paper. What does it matter what the nib is? What does it matter what the manufacturer is? It's doing the job that I want. But yeah, that's quite an interesting point there, is about longevity. But I mean, stainless steel nowadays, as you say, 25 to 30 years old, and it's still going well. Marilyn, if it's not tipped, it will wear away slowly but surely. I have a Victorian dip nib that isn't dipped and it's slowly eroding away. Yeah, that's what I was with the materials, that tipping material. I say it used to be iridium, but I think they've moved away from that now because iridium's a fairly rare metal. I say other ones I know of in that family is platinum and I think rhodium. There might be some other ones though. Jim, I have a few others, but I'll go for a steel nib before a gold one. Yeah, a lot of the time so would I. Not only because gold nibs are so expensive. I think it adds about Aussie dollars between 150 and $200 to have a gold nib. Blonsdale's one, but I do like the feel of the balance. Marilyn, Vintage Waterman has some really soft nibs. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I do like. I think that's one of the reasons why I like that Homo sapiens so much. I love the really soft nib on it. But saying that, I love my Sailor Pro Gear Sim, and that's got a fairly stiff nib. Tony, over the last year, first year at being serious with fountain pens, I have acquired quite a few steel and gold nibs. Some of my cheaper steel write smoother and softer than some of my gold examples. Yep, again, I've seen that as well. I find the same. I know it's a Chinese pen. I think it's the Winsun 698. I've got a steel version. I've got a gold version. And the steel version is by far a nicer writing experience than the gold. The gold is I think horrible is the best way to describe it. I don't enjoy that gold nib, and it's put me off buying any more gold nibs from China. It's just so bad. Whereas the steel one writes really well, and I enjoy using it. Marilyn, I've got a 10K gold nib, Victorian dip nib. That's soft. 10K, that's a fairly rare alloy. Marilyn, also the thickness of the nib will depend on the flexiness of the nib, no matter what the content is. Absolutely. And I think that's how they get the soft, like them softer steel ones. They actually have a thinner steel there. And not only that, it's also the way it's cut. Is it a lot of flex pens have got part of what I would say part of the nib cut away to allow it to flex more. Wow, we've got loads of comments. They're flowing in. Marilyn, I'm using the Jinhao 992 this week with a 1.5mm stub. I like it. Yep. The only downside for me with the 992 is because I've got fairly large hands, it can feel a bit small for longer writing sessions. But when I am using it, I really enjoy it. Tony, Ricardo, micromesh is your friend for removing corrosion and staining. Absolutely. Robin, I made a Sailor 1911 into a stub because one of the tines was broken. Definitely writing with gold on paper, and it's wonderful. Yep. Again, the only thing is it would be that abrasion over time. But I mean, by abrasion over time, I mean, we're talking years, I would think, rather than weeks or months. Ricardo, I've got a 14 carat and a 21 carat, both Sailor medium, and they feel different. Yeah, that, as I say, that'll be down to because of the extra gold there in the alloy. With gold being so soft, it will, I'm guessing, soften the experience. Marcy me, I always say my favourite fountain pen is the one currently in my hand. Yep, I completely agree with you there. It's the same about cameras. Your best camera is the one you've got with you. I've got my DSLR, I've got my iPhone. 90% of the photos I take are on an iPhone because I can take it with me out and about. DSLR, I use that at home, and if I want something really nice, because it does take a nicer picture, but if I've only got my iPhone, that doesn't matter. Marilyn, I think they now use stainless steel to put on the tipping, which is super hard as it is. Yeah, that could, I can see that as well because of cost. Blonde Scales 1, as long as I don't have to fight the pen to get it to write, I'm happy. Yep, again, I know exactly where you're coming from. Another pen I've been using this week is the Waterman Karen. You'll see them all in a minute. And that's got an 18 karat gold nib on it. And I have to be careful with that when I'm using it. I have to really be thinking about it because it's got a really small sweet spot. And if I rotate it ever so slightly, it stops writing. So that's something, yeah, I completely see where you're coming from there. Marie, my Sailor Pro Gear, the full-size one, 21 karat nib, seems so fragile to me, and I fear I will wear it out. But I figured I would just use it and wear it out. If it does, I won't be buying another. It's still going to take years, I'm going to guess, to wear down a gold nib. I mean, we're not talking masses when you're doing the abrasion. And yeah, just use it. This is one of the problems I have, and it's something that took me a while to get my head around, is like my Pilot Custom 823, and the Homo Sapiens, both expensive pens. And when I first got them, I wouldn't take them out of the house. I would only use them at home, which really cut down the opportunity I had to use them. And I had to get my head around the fact that, yes, shit happens. Something may happen if I take it out and about, but am I going to still enjoy using the pen whilst I've got it? Yep. Do I just need to be a little bit more careful when I'm out and about with it? Yep. But why stop it? Why have a pen that you're not using? So yeah, completely with you. Just use it. Andreas, it's a bit like arguing that paper and porcelain plates aren't the same when we all know they are different. My experience is that after using stainless steel for 5 years, I switched to gold. Okay, I was reading that and gold and never go back. Marilyn, my fountain pen revolution, Ultraflex have the cutouts on the side which are softer than some of my Waterman nibs. So it really depends how the nib is shaped, how thick the material is. Absolutely. Robin, Marcy me, I agree with that sentiment. My favourite is the pen in my hand. Marie to Ricardo, I agree with you. The 14K and 21K feel so different. Ricardo, to Tony, thanks. I've got some micromesh. We'll try it. Andreas, but I buy pens, not nibs, so the experience is totally different. Love the Pilot Custom Urushi and the Vanishing Point and the Pelican M1000. Again, yeah, it's the whole package, isn't it, that you're getting and you're using. You know, you're not buying, well, you can buy nibs, but you're not just buying the nib, you're buying the experience of the pen. I say, with that Waterman, as long as I'm careful, I love writing with it. It's again, it's 18 karat gold, a little bit softer nib, glorious to use. Just need to think about it, and you know, who cares as long as I'm enjoying it. Tony, there are two components to Flex. One is the tine separation to get the line variation. The other is the bounce feel. The cutouts give bounce, but not line separation. Marilyn, you'd be surprised how fast the softer gold nibs wear down. Yeah, I say I'm not a material scientist. I'm just, you know, thinking how much to. But yeah, I'm quite happy for that. Ricardo, a couple of years ago, I read an article arguing that the harder sailor nibs will outlast the softer pilot ones. This is about the tipping material, not how they feel. Yeah. I don't know what the tipping material are on the two, but again, you're not even comparing like for like there. You're comparing a hard nib against a soft one. Very hard to be really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a bit hard to properly really compare the two because you're not comparing like for like. I've lost my mouse again. Come on, mousy, where are you? Found it. Nope. Marilyn, it's always fun to make a new experience by just replacing the nib of a pen. Absolutely. And for most pens, it's dead easy to do. Although saying that, there are some pens I wouldn't even think of trying it. Like the expensive pens, you know, like that Homo sapiens, like the Custom 823. Wouldn't even dream of it because I'd be so worried about breaking it. Blonde Scales 1. I buy what I like and can afford. Absolutely. Again, I think that's a really good way to look at it. Marilyn, I bought so many nibs just because I didn't like the feel of the nib that came on the pen. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there. Anita, nothing is forever. Time is a wisp of smoke, so enjoy. Do you know, that's an awfully good way of thinking about it, isn't it? I like that, a wisp of smoke. I do like that. Mr. Inky Fingers, I've replaced cheap Hondian nibs with Leonardo nibs. Yeah, I've got a number of Goulet Yoho nibs, and they're in mainly my Chinese pens. So I've got one in a Moonman M800. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a broad one. I've got one in a what is it? A Jinhao 100. Again, really nice. I've got a medium one in an Owl Skullkill, and again, beautiful writer. I do have some Bock nibs. Don't have many pens though that'll take the Bock nib, but I've done that a couple of times. I did actually have the Bock nib in a Skullkill for a while. Wrote really well. The only problem is because it wasn't an exact fit, when I was writing, it was clicking, and I found that a little bit distracting. But yeah, it wrote really well. Okay, so that's all the comments for the moment. We will come back to this after we do the next bit. So I'm going to switch to the overhead camera. And let's look at the pens I've been using this week. So here we've got the paper. This is a Midori MD cotton pad. I really like this. It's got a slight creaminess to it. Don't know how well that comes over on the camera. Should hopefully be not too bad. So what pens have I been using? My pen of the week. I've shown this already today, the Visconti Homo Sapiens. This is the Dark Ages. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, we've got 18 karat gold nib there. And it looks like there's some plating on there. I don't like gold nibs that are plated. I like to be able to see the gold. I really do. So we've got here a Visconti Homo Sapiens with such a soft, bouncy nib. I have to be careful with this because I can be a bit heavy-handed. I have to make sure I only use this with a really light touch. It's got a broad, and I say it's 18 karat gold. Price for this, $1,318. That's Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine, and it's a Fireside Snug. I love this combo. I really do. Once this Fireside Snug runs out, I'm hoping another 2 or 3 fills. Then I've got some other orange inks which I'll try in here. I do like the black and the orange combo. Up next, we've got another 18 karat gold nib. Here we've got the Waterman Karen. And as I said, this one, it's got a bit of a sweet spot. I love the shape of this. It's unusual. I love the colouring of it. Really nice. And we've got that embedded 18 karat gold nib there. So this is a Waterman Karen with a medium 18K. So you can see there where I must have rotated a little bit. And here, once I get back to the right rotation. Price-wise, you're looking at about 445 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Sleigh Ride. Beautiful extreme sheen ink. Really like this ink. You can already see here. I'm just going to lift it up. Hopefully get the camera to capture this. There you go. Hopefully you saw some of that beautiful sheen coming through. Very nice. Next up, we're going a lot different. We've got an Asvine. This is the P20 in, I believe it's called Galaxy. Piston filling pen. Steel nib. And it's got what they call gold plating, I believe. So we got here an Asvine P20 with, let me just double check, I think it's a medium nib. Yep, medium nib. Price for this, it's horrendous, the price for this, $44. Can't go wrong, I tell you. The ink is, let me just check, it's Colorverse. Colorverse Neptune Occultation. I believe this is also a sheen in ink. I don't see a lot of sheen coming through. I believe it's like a blue with a little bit of a red sheen. Up next, I need to agitate this one because it's got a glistening ink, a shimmering ink. The Kaweco Sport, this is in white coconut. This one I've got eyedroppered. I have refreshed the silicone grease around the threads here because I was finding with the previous time I used it, I was getting a little bit of ink leakage. So far, I've not noticed that since refreshing that silicone grease. Okay, so we got Kaweco Sport with a glorious 1.1 stub nib. Price-wise, we're looking about 45 Aussie dollars for this. And the ink is Colorverse Portuguese. Got to check how I spell this. I always spell it wrong. Portuguese. I keep swapping the U and the E around all the time. Meteor. Gorgeous blue ink. It says it's a glistening. Personally, I don't see a lot, but that doesn't really matter. I like the blue. Again, another one with a shimmer ink in, so I'll start agitating it. That pen bloke, he calls it just a fountain pen, and its material is called something special. So this is an Australian maker. Just move the paper a wee bit. Nice big chunky pen with, again, steel nib, and it's a Yoho nib. So we've got here that pen bloke. Price for this, when I got it, was 190 Aussie dollars. That was a couple of years ago, so I expect the prices to have risen since then. And it's really hard really to get a current pricing because with the pens being handmade, it's hard to find one which looks the same. The ink is by, he says, is by Diamine, and it's a salted caramel. I always want to call this salty caramel for some reason. And that's another shimmer ink. Again, I've got to be honest, I don't see overly that much shimmer. Back to gold nibbed pens. So we've got the Pilot E95S. So again, I pulled this out earlier. Beautiful, gorgeous looking pen. So I'm having to, with this, trying to change how I hold the pen. So I'm having to hold it a bit higher up. It feels odd at the moment. So I've got here a Pilot E95S with a medium 14 karat gold nib. Price wise is about 215 Aussie dollars, and the ink is by Diamine. It's cranberry. So this is a standard sheen in ink from Diamine, not one of the extreme sheens. Again, as this is drying, we get, I think it's like a nice goldy type sheen. And then the last pen I've been using this week, again gold nibs, is my Lamy 2000. The nib on this feels so different. I mean, yes, it's a broad nib. It's like very stubby. But the nib on this is so smooth. It's so nice to use. It's like writing with glass. So we've got here a Lamy 2000 with a broad and I think it's 14 karat gold. Let me just check. Yeah, 14 karat gold. Nib price wise, you're looking about 340 Aussie dollars. And the ink is Colorverse Supergiant. Nice bright ink this, and I think actually works well in this pen. This has got a hooded nib, so it is a slightly different nib style. So that's the pens that I've been using this week. Let's head back over to the camera and then jump back into the comments. Wow, we've got quite a few. Robin, put my number 15 Pilot nib from an 823 on a Ranga word beginning with an A. This is why I've not bought one of these. Have been Anu, something like that. I like Ranga pens, but I want to make sure I can actually pronounce the model name before I buy one. Tom, so much of the nib depends on some high quality handwork to tune it. This makes more difference than anything else. Again, completely with you there. I've seen a number of comments and a number of videos where people have said, that they had a pen which was horrible to write with. They took it to a nibmeister who tuned it, and they've said it, it's completely different. It's a world apart. Anita, seeing the new 2025 Asvine C2000, impressive. Yeah, I was looking at them yesterday. I was looking at pens. Trouble is, I had my wife sat with me, so I had to be careful what I bought. Alia Rose, I ordered the dark green C2000 since I had an Amazon gift card at hand. Mr. Inky Fingers, do you find your Homo sapiens broad nib bleeding through paper? I've got the fine nib on my Dark Ages because it's such a wet writer. I think it depends what I'm writing on. Let me just pull out the paper. So this is, it's a dirt cheap exercise book. Whoops, just dropped my thing out there. It's really dirt cheap paper. I think. Does it say it? It's 8mm ruled. Does it say it anywhere? Sorry. Because of my eyesight at the moment, I'm just going to use my loupe to try and read this. No. It says made in China. And anywhere, it doesn't say anywhere what the GSM is. I'm guessing maybe 60 or 70. It's not. I say it's dirt cheap paper. But if I jump to here, so this is today's. So here we've got that Neptune occultation, and we've got the Visconti. And it is, you're right, it's a very wet writer. So if I go off the page, I've got nothing bleeding through. And to be honest, I don't have much in the way of ghosting. Now, what I do with this cheap one is, because I'm taking photos, it does really make ghosting look bad. So I do leave blank pages. But, there's a previous day. And then this one, we've got a little bit coming through. What was that? So that was Colourverse Supergiant and that Fireside Snug. Here we've got a load coming through. Let me just check. And this, here's, a load ghosting through, you can see there. And links here, that was Diamond Cranberry in the E95S and that Fireside Snug. So, not really. I say that's dirt cheap paper. On good paper, again, not really seeing much. I'm just going to pull this out. So this is my Kinbar, which is Tomoe River paper. Let me just find where is the Visconti. So the Visconti is down here near the bottom. If I go over the page, very little even ghosting. So, yeah, no, I've not had really any problems with it. This paper is 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. Robin, I also put a Jinhao number 8 nib from a Jinhao 159 on a Leonardo Memento Zero Grande titanium. The titanium nib just wouldn't write. It does fine on the Jinhao, though. Yeah, I've not tried the titanium nib yet. I do keep looking, and I'm thinking next time I buy a Ranga, I may get a titanium nib on that. Jim, that C2000 is the stabilized wood pen. I'll pass. So, yeah, stabilized wood, I believe what that means is they inject resin into the wood, which gives it more strength. Anita, I was looking at the green one too. Yeah, if I went for one, I think it would have to be green. Anita, what nib size? Alia Rose, I got the medium. The stub was tempting, but I don't use them regularly enough to justify it. Tony, I've just ordered my most expensive steel nibbed pen. A Panida Avatar Twin Tank. Couldn't resist the 40% discount. Yeah, I haven't tried Panida yet. Again, they're not exactly cheap, so eventually I will do though. Alia Rose, also Asvine has offered nibs separately for sale, so I could get a stub later. Yeah, I was looking yesterday on AliExpress, and I was looking at the Mahjong 630, I think it is, the short stubby one. It was a bit deceiving the way they had it. So I thought I was going to get the full pen, but it wasn't. It was just a nib. So I soon took that out of my basket. Jim, I find stubs can be so much fun, and I usually buy fine nibs. Blonde Scales 1, Always nice to find a good discount on a higher priced pen. Absolutely. I'm at the moment, as I've said for a number of weeks now, I'm on the hunt for a brown Pelican M1000 in Renaissance Brown. And for fountain pen day, I did find somewhere where they had it on offer for a really good price. Didn't have the cash for it then. Got the cash for it now. And nowhere's got it on offer. So I'm going around loads of different stores every single day checking them out. Ali Rose, not a daily driver for me. This is talking about the stub nibs. Ricardo, who's doing a 40% discount? Yeah, let's send loads of business their way. Jim, I got one in Neptune Blue sometime back with an amazing medium nib. Marilyn, I'm reviewing the Colour Vent calendar on my YouTube channel. So come say hi. Yeah, I see, I think it was day number 4. The Sailing Stones was published earlier on today. Tony, I've got the Lamy 2000 in broad, medium and oblique medium. The difference between the broad and the medium is very noticeable. Broad suits me best. Yeah, I've only got the broad in the 2000, but oh, I love it. I never thought I would. It was one that took me about 2 years to actually buy. It was in and out of my baskets, but I'm so glad I did. And it was on offer. I don't buy any of the more expensive pens unless I can get them with a reasonable discount. Marcy Me to Ricardo. I saw Atlas Stationers offer 40% off on Pinida. Tony to Ricardo. Pinida themselves. I ordered mine from the London store to avoid import hassles. It was £178. Ricardo, thanks to Tony and Marcy Me. Anita, Garry, did you come up with a favourite colour from your Inkvent calendar? So, as you'll find out later on Friday, I'll be publishing my top 5 Inkvent inks. And then on the following Monday will be my top 5 inks from the Colour Vent calendar. So, yeah, I'm looking at my top 5 from both. Look, I will spoil it right now, and I'll tell you what my favourite ink is. It's Diamine Sleigh Ride. Absolutely by far my favourite ink from these calendars. And when they come out with the full bottles, I may actually buy a full bottle because I like it that much. I might break my rule of no ink, until I've used a load of the small Inkvent ones up. But I really, really like that Diamine Sleigh Ride. I can quite happily say it's my favourite ink, full stop. Really like it. Padrino, I got the Twin Tank Pinida for Christmas. It writes wonderfully. Tony, I found a good source for 52 GSM Tomoe River in the UK and now use it as my go-to notebooks. Hunter Paper Company in Belfast. I shall have a look at that and see if they deliver to Australia. Hunter Paper Co. Belfast. Just made a note of that. Marilyn, you might have to wait till Black Friday for that Pelican Brown. I know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it a month. If I can't find it reduced anywhere during the next month, I do have enough to pay the full price for it, but I don't want to if I can avoid it. But I think I'll end up doing that because I really like the look of it. Marcy Me, I would love to find that Pelican Renaissance as well. So what I might do if I find it, I will actually say that. Robin, I just got the M1000 in Renaissance Brown from Apple Boom just before Christmas. I got the 15% discount from reviewing a purchase. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I've got any 15% left on that. I think I've used them all. Tony, the Neptune Blue isn't on discount and the clear is out of stock. Marilyn, I wonder if you get an extra 10% with discount code Miss Marilyn 10 from Atlas Stationers. Problem with that is then when it comes into Australia, If it's over 1,000 Aussie dollars, I have to pay import duties. Under 1,000 Aussie dollars, I don't. So again, one of the things I've got to look if I'm buying from overseas is to make sure it's under $1,000, because otherwise, what you're saving, you're losing. Marcy Me to Robin, great. Alia Rose, Sleigh Ride is amazing. I had in my SD with a journaler nib, and it was a delight. Already written dry. Yeah, I mean the Waterman Kren. I'm on my second fill of that, and really love it. I'm not sure how well. Let me just having a quick look. So this is from my journal. So on the 4th was when I was using that, and not sure. Absolutely loads of that sheen coming through. I just dropped one of my things, so I'll sort that out later on. Okay, where were we? Jim to Tony, and what about the transparent black? Marcy Me, Atlas only allows 1 coupon code per purchase. Matthew, I've just got my first King of Pen. Truly the first nib that feels exceptionally different, to me at least. Yeah, I've looked at the King of Pen as well. I did think about one of those. Maybe that's something to save up for next year, because it is a lot of money. Tom, I love the journaler nib. It's a fairly fine nib, I believe, isn't it? A journaler. Ricardo to Tony, thanks for the Tomoy River suggestion. Tony to Jim, I ordered the black in medium. Marilyn to Marcy Me, doesn't hurt to ask. Absolutely. If you don't ask, you don't get. Right, so let's head on over to the presentation. Let me get that playing, and we'll go to Keynote. So last week's videos. On Monday, we had the December 2024 wrap-up. Actually performed really well. I was really pleased with that. Wednesday, we had my January pens in use. I was gobsmacked. That's one of my best performing videos. In the first day, it had over 1,000 views. Normally in the first day, I have maybe about 200. So absolutely stellar performance on that. I was really, really, really gobsmacked. Friday, we had my Inky Countdown review. So that's where I just did a quick overview of all the inks. Wasn't really picking anything, favourites or anything. And then yesterday, we had the members only Ask Me Anything video. Next week, on Monday, we're going to take a focus on the Ron Garry hybrid. So this is another Australian maker. Wednesday, that's the first impressions of that Christmas Day gift from my wife, which is the Just Turn-ins Enceladus, and the pen name is Alien Execution. I'm really going to be interested to see how this performs. Because it's got the word execution and the word alien in it, I'm just wondering how that's going to be affected by the YouTube algorithm. Because the algorithm does look at stuff like that. Do you know, it's just the first time I've noticed the background's moving. I've never noticed that before. It's going across the screen. Oh, wow. That's the first time I've noticed that. Anyway, back to what I should be talking about. Yeah, so the Just Turn-ins Alien Execution. It'll be interesting to see how that performs. And then on Friday, as I've already really teased, my top 5 2024 Inkvent inks. You know which one of them is. In these, I'm not ranking them. I'm just saying these are my top 5. My book of the week is Terry Pratchett. Oh, pardon me, got the hiccups. My book of the week is Terry Pratchett Thud, which is a City Watch pen. Really enjoying this. It's a bit like it's a murder mystery type story at the moment. I'm halfway through. We've got Angua, we've got Vines, we've got Captain Carrot, not Corporal Carrot. So we've got the usual cast. And yeah, it's just good. It's doing some investigations. It's got a little bit of action in there. We've had already a battle, or there was going to be a battle between the dwarfs and the trolls, and Vimes' solution was absolutely brilliant, just like Commander Vimes. So that's the book of the week. Let me just close this down so I can get back to looking at the comments. Matthew, I got mine on super discount from Endless Pens. Was more than 50% off. Wow, that's a good saving. Marcy me, to Miss Marilyn Darling, thumbs up. Jim, my first chat. Germa Stop has the Visconti opera for less than $100, waiting for it to arrive. Welcome to you, Jim. Glad you can join us. Hopefully you'll join in quite a lot. To me, one of the reasons for doing these is I love the chat. I love the interaction. Really enjoy that. Blonde Scales 1 is a members Zoom next weekend. So the members Zoom is on the 18th, which is 2 weeks as of yesterday. Blonde Scales 1, I love that title, lol. Yeah, it's a really, really good, I say, really, I love all the Terry Pratchett books. I'm getting a bit disappointed because we're nearly through. Anita, just there, what's Germa Shop? Let me see, can I pull up Uncle Safari? Germa Shop, let's see what we can, better wait the keyboard up. Just about going to drop it in, see if something comes up. Let's go back to Safari. So here's Germa Shop, luxury pens. Let's close that for now. So we've got Visconti, we've got some Mont Blancs. Interesting looking pens here. Not bad prices. Anyway, you don't need to see them. I'm going to leave that open. I'll have a good look at that later on. You don't need to see me going through. Let me minimize this so I can get back to the comments again. Let's refresh the comments. Okay, so that's all the comments. So two things then I just want to quickly talk about. One of the things is with my videos lately, I'd be interested to get feedback from people. Yes, I know I still got some old ones to put out, but I've been playing around with sound levels to try and get better sound coming out, or a more consistent sound. So like my pens in use. In fact, all 3 videos this week had that new technique on it. And I'm just wondering what people are thinking of it. Are you noticing a difference? Monday's video, the Ron Garry, that was done the old way. Whereas I think the other 2 were done the new one. So yeah, I'd love to get people's feedback on that. What I'm trying to do is make the sound a bit more consistent. I had some feedback, I'm talking about 6 months ago, saying that the person that was giving me the feedback was saying it was always very quiet. So that's something I want to, I say I've been playing around with. Marilyn, sounds good today. Yeah. So this is again using a completely different method. So what I do with my normal videos is I record using Audacity, and then I apply some filters on there to clean up the audio a little bit. I then export that, and then I import it to DaVinci Resolve, which is the what's the name? What's the word I'm looking for? My video editor. And then in there, it's got a really good audio suite. So what I do in there, they've got what they call loudness, and you can actually set a loudness level for YouTube, and it then shows you what the ideal level is for YouTube. So then I can adjust the volume up and down till I get near this line for YouTube. So I say I'd be interested, is it making a difference to people? Alia Rose, is it legit though? I think that's talking about that Germo store. Yeah, I don't know. Let's refresh. Marilyn, I remember one of them, sound too close to the mic. Yeah, so brilliant. If you let me know, because then I can, I can start adjusting things. Alia Rose, $2 for the pen fund. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Absolutely love that. Very generous. I love, I say I love doing these, but it all helps. So I'm going to give away some memberships now. He says, hopefully, better check that I've got them. Yeah, I've still got them. So I'm going to give away 5 memberships. So these are free for 1 month. Being a member, membership's available. If you head onto my YouTube channel, to the actual channel part of it, there's a join now button or a join button where you can join as a member. Members get early access to my normal videos. So the Ron Garry one that's going out tomorrow, they actually got yesterday. So I gave them roughly 2 days early. We've got the monthly Ask Me Anything, which is members only. We've got a monthly Zoom call, which is only about half an hour. So we can get in and actually all talk, as in talk, as opposed to doing over text here. I'm on to me cordial now. Ribena, I have it very, very weak. So they also get each week on a Saturday, they get a video showing all the pens I've been using and some example writing. Essentially, it's the intro to this, but it's a full-length one. So that they're on member benefits. And I'm always trying to think, of new things which I could add in for members. So, that might, I might add things in, I might take things out. We'll just see how it goes. So let's give away 5. I click the button. So YouTube is doing its magic. It's still thinking. Okay, so it's going to announce the memberships. And there we go, 5 of them. So hopefully if you've won, it should be popping up something saying that you've been gifted a free membership. Say they're valid for 1 month. So thank you to all my members. It's like the super thanks from Alia Rose and the members, what I get in from membership, as well as the YouTube advertising money, which really lets me grow the channel by getting things which I normally wouldn't buy. Ricardo, I know Jomo Shop for being recommended for watches. So that's a little bit of a peace of mind, maybe. Is that the right way to describe it? Jim, congrats. Yep, definitely congratulations to all those. Let me just do a refresh of the comments. Blonde Skills 1. Congrats. Tony Bin. Wow, brilliant. Thanks, Garry. No, you're more than welcome. It's YouTube just picks. Why I leave it to the end is it picks people that are on the chat. So by leaving it to the end, I know it's people that have been here most of the way. So water in my throat. Let's refresh again. And yeah, Tom, congrats. So thank you all for your time. I mean, we've kept it about an hour today. That's unusual. Love doing this. I know I keep saying it. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, it just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Subscriber growth has been a bit sporadic lately. I track daily, and last week I had 2 days where it went down, and I know it's a vanity metric, but I do like to see it. I'll have to do a thing because I can actually see what percentage of people that view my videos are members, are not members, are subscribers or not. That's something I may look at doing that, but I've got to work out what to compare it against, because giving a number doesn't really help. It's being able to compare. So thank you all, and let's do one more look. Marcy Me, congrats all. Ricardo, congratulations. Got a thumbs up there from Marilyn. Blonde Skills 1, have a great week all. Andreas, thank you, Garry. Have a great week all. Alia Rose, have fun. Be careful, everyone. And if you can't be careful, don't get caught. Ricardo, thanks for the live. Have a great week. Jim, have a great week all and keep warm. Robin, I love this. Congratulations to the Fabulous Five. Oh, what a brilliant thought. Let's do another refresh. Anita, had fun. Thanks, Gary. Till next time. Tony, Happy New Year, everyone. And thanks for another good session, Gary. So that's all the comments. I will leave the comments open whilst the outro plays. So thank you all, and I'll talk to you again soon.